A very good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is 17 May 2026. It's a Sunday class. So we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, the Surangama Sutra. We are at page 84. Okay, we continue with our physical puja. Then after that only we will commence the class. Okay, let us gather. Let us now compose our mind, develop the Saddha Virya, then mindfully we shall commence the Puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 药师佛 Namo 文殊菩萨 Namo 文殊菩萨 Namo 文殊菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhaṃ Bhagavaṃ Abhivādemi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammaṃ Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghaṃ Namami Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dhammaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Sanghaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dutiyampi Sanghaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Tatiyampi Sanghaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Pāṇātipātā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Ādina dāna Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kāmesu Micchācārā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Musāvādā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Surameraya Majjapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect to Puja. Buddhaṃ Pujami. Dhammang Pujami. Sanghang Puja. Invocation to the Devas in this universe, in their entirety. Let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakavalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakkamokkadang Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacarana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarti Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Santitiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanaiko Paccayatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samici Patipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Cattari Purisa Yukani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakeneyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you all can visit that. Then we shall continue from where we stopped. We are at page 84 of this book, Surangama Sutra, commentary by Master Hsuan. Okay, we are at chapter 12, I think. Visual awareness. So, according to the title, he says, visual awareness exists neither through inhering nor in conjoining. Then we go to the commentary proper. It says, Ananda, you have already understood that the wondrous, luminous, enlightened nature of your visual awareness means your pure awareness nature. They does not arise from causes and conditions, and that it does not come into being on its own. So that is a very important understanding. Means it is the unconditioned understanding. It does not manifest or arise from causes and conditions, but that is your nature. It was there before any arising. We call it the beginning, means primordial. So that enlightened nature of our pure awareness nature, or here shall not call it the visual awareness nature, does not arise from causes and conditions, and that it does not come into being on its own too. There is that nature pre-exists. They call it the original nature. 本来的面目. That's why all these are the words that people coin to explain what that thing is. But you do not understand yet that the original enlightened nature of your visual awareness or pure awareness nature also does not exist because of inhering or because of conjoining, nor because of a lack of inhering or the lack of conjoining. It's just like the Heart Sutta. When it's in the unconditioned, everything doesn't exist. I will now ask you again, Ananda, about the object you perceive before you. Your deluded thinking, means your mundane mind, about the world tells you that what causes this object to exist is either inhering or conjoining, means condition arising. Therefore, you wrongly suppose that what causes the enlightened mind to exist is either inhering or conjoining. Suppose the wondrous pure nature of your visual pure awareness exists through inhering. Does it then exist through inhering in light? Does it exist through inhering in darkness? Does it exist through inhering in space? Does it exist through inhering in solid object? If it exists through inhering in light, then when you see in the presence of light precisely where in the light does it inhere? Visual awareness and light each have their own distinct quality. So if the visual awareness were inherent in light, what quality would each of them have then? Either they would have the ability to see, in which case you could be seeing your own awareness, or you would not be able, not have the ability to see, in which case you would not. Wait, the notes are sweet. Wait, just now the notes. Okay, so here he explained to you, note 50, in hearing, is a Sanskrit word samavaya, translated as her. Then conjoining, samyoga, translated as her. Is it her? Her chang her. Conjoining. Then the allusion here is probably to the teaching of the Indian Vaisesika school. Inherent refer to the inseparable inhering of essential quality and karma in the substance, whereas conjoining refers to the coming together of two substances in a way that does not change their distinction, means the essential qualities. Then the next one is 51, note. That is the enlightened nature of the visual awareness. Then, 见境, 52. In previous appearances in the text, this has meant the observing division of the eight consciousness. But the context here makes plain that our enlightened awareness expressed previously as 见境 Oh, sorry, 见性, not 见境, 见性, this one is different. It meant, in this case. Okay, continue. Would you not be able to see the light? In any case, how can light be inherent in your visual awareness, since the enlightened nature of your visual awareness is in fact already complete in itself? Likewise, since light is already complete in itself, how could your visual awareness have been inherent in light? Again, since your visual awareness is different from light, it would cease to be itself if it were to inhere in light. And light would likewise cease to be what we call light if it inhere in visual awareness. Each would lose its nature. In short, it cannot be right to say your visual awareness exists through inhering in light, nor can it be right to say that your visual awareness exists through inhering in darkness, in space, or in other objects. So this is just an explanation, not important. You must know that pure awareness nature is a nature. Understand? The word nature is very important. It is not a being. It cannot come out and live life. There is no word, no concept, nothing. No labeling. It's just that nature. In that sense, it's easier to understand. Then you will not be confused by all these words that are coined by the conditioned arising mind, by the knowledge, by words, by concept, all those things. So I find that way of understanding is easier. That's why I don't go through all this that is used to explain the teaching, where maybe this is commentary's way. Okay, I continue. If your visual awareness exists in conjoining with light, then in total darkness, when no light is present, you will not be able, not be aware of the darkness. Since your awareness, yeah. Once again, I didn't read yet. Okay, I read that one first. Thank you. Once again, Ananda, does the wondrous pure nature of your visual awareness exist through conjoining with light? Does it exist through conjoining with darkness? Does it exist through conjoining with space? Does it exist through conjoining with object? If your visual awareness exists in conjoining with light, then in total darkness, when no light is present, you will not be aware of the darkness, since your awareness will be conjoined with light rather than with darkness. If even so, you could see darkness without your awareness being conjoining to darkness, it follows that you would see light when your visual awareness was conjoined to light. And if you could not see light when your awareness has been conjoined to it, then since you could not see light, how could you see when it was dark, light or dark? The same argument could be made to show that your visual awareness does not exist through conjoining with darkness, with space, or with object. Means it's not dependent originating. Ananda said to the Buddha, well-honored one, I am now thinking that the wondrous fundamental enlightened nature of our visual awareness does not exist either through inhering in or through conjoining with the object before us, or with our processes of perceiving of them. The Buddha said to Ananda, now you are saying that your enlightened awareness does not exist either through inhering or through conjoining. I read the notes first, note 53. Because if you will see darkness without visual awareness being conjoined to it, the corollary would be that to be conjoined to darkness would not allow one to see. So the same applies to the case of light. Okay, then move on. I will continue to question you, the Buddha said then. If the wondrous essential nature of your visual awareness does not inhere in or conjoin with anything, are you saying that it does not inhere in light? That it does not inhere in darkness? That it does not inhere in space? That it does not inhere in solid object? If it did not inhere in light, then a boundary would necessarily exist between your visual awareness and the light. Like, look carefully now. Where is your awareness? Where is the light? And where is the boundary between them? If Ananda, your visual awareness, were now nowhere within the confine of light, it would follow that your awareness and the light have not come into contact. And so, you would not be able to see where the light is. Then how could a boundary exist between them? The same can be said of the notion that your visual awareness does not inhere in darkness, in space, or in solid object. Moreover, if the wondrous essential nature of your visual awareness did not become conjoined to anything, then does it not become conjoined to light? Does it not become conjoined into darkness? Does it not become conjoined to space? Does it not become conjoined to object? If your visual awareness did not become conjoined to light, then light and visual awareness would be entirely incompatible, just as light and your awareness of sound are incompatible. They would never come into contact. Further, since you will not be able to see where the light is, how could you know whether or not your awareness has become conjoined to it? The same would be true of your visual awareness, not becoming conjoined to darkness, to space, and to solid object. Oh, finish already. Okay. We go to the next part. The matrix of the Tuscan one. Okay. This one is very good. The five aggregates are the matrix of the first Tuscan one. So this five aggregates, as we all know, there are two aspects to it. First, as a living being. For our case, is a human being. We have a physical body, the form, then we have a consciousness trapped inside. So the consciousness can be subdivided into four more mind aggregates. The consciousness can feel, it has a feeling aggregate, Vedana. It can also perceive. It has a perception aggregate, Sanya. And it can also think, create sankhara activity, mind states, mental intention, etc. All the other possible manifestation of the mundane thinking. They can be either thought activity, mind states, or whatever. Everything that your mind can do. Then the final aggregate is, it can become conscious. So that four aspects, or what we call aggregates of mind, which is feeling, perception, activity of mind, or mind states, etc. Everything that your mind can do, and consciousness. In Pali is Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. So these four plus the physical body become the first aspect of the five aggregate. And we call it the I and the me because we believe this compounded entity, which is condition arising entity, as a permanent unchanging entity which we can cling onto, grasp onto, hold onto and say, this is me, this is I. Therefore it can own thing, have thing, all this can be mine. That is the biggest security, self-delusion. So understand that. Then apart from that, there is a second aspect where the five aggregate arise and pass away at the mind level. Every moment of consciousness, we have the four aggregates of mind. But the perception brings in the external perceived object, means external form, into the mind. That's why every moment of sense experience, when we input the content, it becomes a thought. That is the mental five aggregate, second aspect. That one is the one that you have to see clearly. The Buddha said that one also you cannot identify. When you identify with all the five aggregate, you will get into trouble. Where it is through identification that you attach, you cling, you give meaning, you grasp. And the illusory world, the condition arising world, the existential world, they can have power over you. It will entice you. It will actually create delusion in you, so that you deludedly grasp and cling onto it. It not only entices, it lures you in. That's why without the direct seeing, to see clearly their universal characteristic, their dependent originating nature, condition arising nature, you cannot differentiate. That's why here the title is very good. The five aggregates are the matrix of the thus come one. Why? Because this is the one that creates all the illusion, the magic. So you look at the four circle formation. From the source, the true nature, the original nature, Pali the main move. The first to come out is our pure awareness nature. But in the book, Chandra call it the visual awareness. But as you all know, this pure awareness nature is not from any other senses, it's a nature within, which can be aware. So it can be aware of seeing consciousness when it manifests, hearing consciousness when it manifests, taste, touch, thought consciousness. All these six senses, the ear, the eye, the nose, the tongue, the tactile, and the memory or the thought. Visual awareness can see the movement of the soul, the manifestation. Okay? So the moment you are here, you see it manifesting into the five aggregate of form and mind. That's why this is the matrix of the thus come one. You know what is matrix, isn't it? You don't know what is a matrix. No, the formation, like that, like last time in maths, your study is a matrix. The formal message definition is what? Yeah lah, they call it the matrix lah. So from here, all the creation come about, isn't it? That's why this is the matrix of the time. Without this, you cannot come to the existential world. You remember I told you? You can only come through what? The karmic nature, understand now? That manifests this form in mind. That's why this is the metric of the thus come one. Without this, there is no arising of the five aggregate of form in mind. And this is needed. That's why to come to this existential world, you need the five aggregate of form in mind. And within this, you can detect this through meditation and develop the enlightenment and cease and return to the what they call unconditioned, the source. Or you can realize Nibbana through this process. So this one is very important. But this one cannot arise if you don't have a karmic nature, understand? And because of that, this karmic nature, the 5 aggregate of form and mind, which is a living being, and the second aspect is the 5 mental aggregates of form and mind. So now you understand. There are 2 aspects here. That's why the title is very powerful. So now we come back. The 5 aggregates are the matrix of the Taskamon. So now you understand the title. Then the Buddha is trying to teach Ananda. Now you listen. Ananda, you have not yet understood that the objects we perceive are what? Unreal and illusionary. Why? Why is it unreal? Because your mind make, understand how? And how do you know them? Through mental perception. It's an image, understand how? How real can it be? Externally, already following nature's law, dependent originating, understand how? Condition arising, causal phenomenon, like the bullock cart analogy. When the parts come together, it perform a function, then it exists. Bullock cart. Understand how? You give it a name, it performs a function, and you entangle it with a concept. Then it like real, exists. And this is how all this manifestation through the 5 aggregate of form and mind, the Buddha called it like a magician, or illusionists that create illusion for you to see. Because it's all mind make, understand or not? That's why mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. When mind arises, all things arise, understand? The whole creation, the phenomenal world of consciousness and form, that is the chaotic world. That is the place where everything lure you, entice you, and become like very real. So if you cannot see through this with your pure awareness nature, their impermanent characteristic, their suffering nature when you want things your way, which is not in accordance with nature's way, following nature's law, the Pancha-niyama. And because they are impermanent, it's not a permanent, unchanging entity. There's a hey no you, hey no me. And because they are all dependent, originating, condition, no reality. They are illusionary, unreal. They come and they go. Hey no you, hey no me. So seeing this, awakening to this, you will realize the empty nature existence. But there is such thing as life, as existence, as nature's law, like law of karma, law of mind, law of truth. That's why all this you have to understand. Then you know how to live life. Then you know the secret of life. That's why he tell of Ananda, is it? Ananda, you have not yet understood that the object we perceive are unreal and illusionary. Get this properly understood. They are subject to what? Why? Impermanent, they're dependent originating. You saw, without causes and conditions, nothing arises. Understand now? Appearing here and there, and disappearing here and there. He used this word. For me, arise and pass away, the birth and death, the coming and the going. Understand not? In fact, within your frontal line body, you witness everything. Your thought arise and pass away. True or not? Feeling arise and pass away. All the emotions, sensations arise and pass away. Mind state. Consciousness arise and pass away. Did you die? You didn't die. So how can the 5 aggregate of form and mind be you? But the question is, if they are not you, then why did they arise in you? That is the kongan that you have to awaken to. You have to realize through the direct seeing. Because they are all impermanent. If you attach and cling and want things your way, you suffer. That's why the aggregates of mind, feeling, perception, mind activity, mind states, consciousness, you cannot cling, you cannot grasp, because they are not inherent. They are dependent, originating, condition arising phenomena. And they continue to move, transform, evolve. And when conditions cease to be, it ceases to be. And when it ceases to be like unpleasant feeling, did you die? You didn't die. So they are dependent, originating mind state that follow nature's law and nature's condition. Dependent, originating, condition arising. Without causes and condition, it doesn't exist. So how real can it be? That's why they are like the physics experiment. Upon contact, the light bulb light up, consciousness arises. Then when it arises, like the Buddha said, in the seeing, it's only the seeing consciousness. But through your delusion, what do? You input the egoic consciousness, which is the wrong content. Then you entangle yourself with all the karmic. Why? Well, it's moral causation, understand or not? Avijja pacaya sankhara. Ignorance, delusion creates sankhara activity that has karmic consequences. That's why you don't know this law, the basic, fundamental of mind, linking to the law of karma, the moral causation, then you don't know how to understand life, and you cannot live life. That's why Bodhidharma told the monk, if this basic understanding of mind also you don't have, then how can you meditate? That's why he says, sinh vị kinh bệnh. The mind, understanding the mind is the most important. That is the fundamental basis of understanding to proceed with the cultivation. So all these are very important. Then Shenhua continues, he said, yet this illusion, each with its conventional destination, are in fact within the essential wondrous enlightenment, means the oneness nature. Within the phenomena is the phenomena, understand not? Or nomina, nomina, not pneumona, nomina. So this is the understanding. Yet this illusion, each with its non-conventional destination, means all your labeling, your identifying and all things, are in fact within the essential wondrous enlightenment, means the oneness nature. The same is true of the five aggregate. Then he linked it to the sixth faculty, means your sixth sense door. Then the six respective sense data become the 12 sight. Then together with the consciousness, it becomes the 18th sense right. It is an illusion that they come into being when both their causes and their condition are present, and it is an illusion that they cease to be when either their causes or their conditions are absent. That's why I say dependent originating phenomena, they arise due to causes and conditions. When causes and conditions are there, it manifests, it exists. Then when it continues to evolve, it continues to transform. Then when causes and conditions cease to be, it ceases to be. So everything is just like that. Come and go. Nature's law operating, like my teacher used the word, mighty nature rolling by. That is a very good word. Nature's law operating, understand? That's why he know you, he know me. That's why you look at the teaching of Huineng, the sixth patriarch. The first hallmark is no thought. No thought means what? You realize the true mind, the pure awareness nature. Then from there you can see and you can awaken. Then after that, what do you realize? Everything, dependent originating, condition arising, mighty nature, he know you, he know me. Means what? No mark of a self cultivating, no mark of others, no mark of existence, no mark of Dhamma. Everything doesn't exist. It's just mighty nature rolling by. Can follow or not? This part is very important. So when you see the first hallmark means to meditate, you must realize the true mind, the silent mind, the pure awareness nature, your essential nature. Then after that, you realize no mark. Then after that, it must not have any dwelling, the third hallmark, means it cannot dwell. The moment you dwell, the atta, what they call the center, is being created, understand? Because when you dwell through your perception, somewhere you shrink your consciousness to that small space. Means you lost your identity, where you are that pure awareness nature, the oneness nature. Then you shrink it to a limited space and input the content and lost in thought. Understand? And this is why Krishnamurti says, when you are lost in thought, thought is limited to that small space with its content. You understand? You cannot come out of it. If you want to come out of it, you have to be in that pure awareness nature again. That's why from that awareness nature, you create thought. Understand? That's why awareness can see thought, but thought cannot see awareness. But it is the resultant from that nature. So all this you will understand when you do the pure awareness based meditation, not through thought based. Thought based cannot see, cannot comprehend all this. Okay? So we go back to the sharing. You simply has not yet understood that. So that one is a very, very important warning to Ananda. That's why as cultivator you also must understand what I explained to you just now. So you simply have not yet understood that. Means if you have not understood that, these are fundamentally, I read again. You simply have not yet understood that, fundamentally, he told Ananda, everything that comes and goes, that comes into being and ceases to be, is within your true nature of the matrix of the Taskam One. Means what? The oneness nature. One, which is the wondrous everlasting understanding, the unmoving, all-pervading, wondrous suchness of reality. This is our true nature. But though you may seek within the everlasting reality of the matrix of the Taskam One, for what comes and goes, for confusion and awakening, and for coming into being and ceasing to be, you will not find them there, because you chase after the illusionary. Understand? Then, okay, move up. Each and every perceived object, take note of this, looks to you like it actually exists, like real, understand? But in reality, it is entirely illusionary and transitory. Why? Because how do you know that? Through your mental perception. It's just an image. How real can it be? And it's also dependent originating, condition arising, moment to moment, life passes by. And the present moment is the only reality. And how stable is the present moment? Split second is dead and gone. Split second is dead. Then how real can it be? That is the highest in life, the only reality, That's why when you see this, you awaken. And this is all based on what I have taught you all and shared with you all. They come from our own true mind. See? This is a very important understanding. You see the pure awareness nature clearly through your stability of mind, awareness nature. Then you see the movement, how from there it arises. So this particular statement is very important. I think I didn't read the top part. The top part I read again. Each and every perceived object to you, like it actually exists, but it is in reality, it is entirely illusionary and transitional. There I miss out this one. The coming into being of the object we perceive is an illusion, and their ceasing to be is also an illusion. Nevertheless, this nature is in truth the luminous, essential, wondrous enlightenment that is our true nature. They come forth from our true mind. When delusion arises, there is division into what we call the observer and the observed. What observed is the observer, and what is observed is the observed. Both arise from that pure nature. Means you create the duality and separate yourself. You think the thinker and the thought is different. The observer and the observed is different. That's how the egoic entity manifests. Then skandhas mean yun. Then the 12 side, that one explained already. Then 18 side also explained. Tathagata Gaba. 如来藏. Oh, you all call 如来藏, the Tathagata Gaba. Then number 5 is 见分. What is that? 见分. 见 is see, isn't it? 分 is 分别. Oh. Then the other one, 相分. The fundamental division of the 8 consciousness. The alaya consciousness. The observer and the observed through Sakaya Ditti was basic to the teaching. Okay, moving up. And luminous essence of the wondrous enlightenment, which is the everlasting true mind. They do not come from anywhere. It was there, primordial, understand? Yeah. When you do not understand, there is coming and going. There is confusion and enlightenment. There is birth and death, or death and rebirth. But if you understand the everlasting true mind, if you could recognize your own fundamental true nature, the pure nature, the luminous essence of the everlasting true mind, you put an end to all this illusionary coming into being and ceasing to be, means all the duality created by mundane thinking. Then if you look for such characteristics as coming and going, confusion and enlightenment, and death and rebirth, you will never find them. Now you understand, you see the delusion in all this. Yeah. Then they start with the aggregate of form. Ananda, how is it that the 5 aggregates are fundamentally the matrix of the Taskam One, whose nature is the wondrous suchness of reality? Consider this example, Ananda. A clear-sighted person looks up at the clear sky, where nothing but empty space is to be seen. Suppose that, for no particular reason, this person happened to stare, without moving his eye, until they are stressed to the point that he sees in the empty air a disordered display of flower, along with the various other images that are, how come the notes, wait, the note a lot, wait, so come now. How come the notes start with something else? Oh, okay. Oh, I read from here. The fundamental division of the 8 or storehouse consciousness into observer and the observed was basic to the teaching of of the consciousness only school. That's why they divide. This division is described at some length in this sutta at part 4.1. See also the introduction, page 30, Romanized number. In this part of the sutta, the Buddha, this one is note number 6. In this part of the sutta, the Buddha corrects wrong understanding of the causes of the coming into being of the various fundamental category of our experience. He makes several points. First, although objects that we experience are dependent on causes and conditions, which must all be present for the object to temporarily exist, they do not come into being out of any of those causes and conditions. Second, they do not come into being on their own. That is, they cannot come into being independent of those causes and conditions. Third, since there is no process of something real actually coming into being, the object that we experience have no real independent existence of their own, it means empty nature of existence. Rather, they are distorted experiences that are based on our fundamental ignorance. When the fundamental ignorance is transcended, we experience ourselves and the world as they really are, means seeing things as they are. Through part 3, the Buddha presents his argument in a series of syllogisms according to the procedure of logical argumentation that were later codified as part of the Buddhist logic. For each syllogism, the Buddha begins by briefly defining a situation drawn from common experience to serve as an instance of the truth or what he is proposing. Having applied the instant to the proposition, he next offers one or more negative examples to show the absurdity of negating the proposition. Lastly, he states the conclusion in which the proposition is restated as proven. Okay, move on. Before that.
You want to continue?
Continue. Yes. Okay, wait, I read the last sentence. Consider this example, Ananda, a clear statement that we have gone through. Then, until they are stressed to the point that he sees in the empty air a disordered display of flower, along with the various other images that are disordered and chaotic. I call it the chaotic world, and lack of any real attribute. You should know that the aggregates of form can be described in similar terms. Now, this disordered display of flower, Ananda, does not come into being from space, nor does it come into being from the person's eye. Suppose, Ananda, that the display of flower did not come from space, but what has come into being from space would have to be subject to disappearance back into space. And space would not be empty if things come into being out of it and disappear back into it. But if space were not empty, there would not be room in it for those display of flowers to appear out of it or to disappear back into it any more than there is room in your body, Ananda, for another Ananda. Okay, we move on. On the other hand, if this disorder display of flower came from the person's eye, the display of flower could disappear back into the eye. Now we may suppose that if this display of flower has come from the eye, it must share in the visual awareness of the eye faculty. If it were visually aware, then having come out from the eye into the air, it will be able to see eye from the air. But if it does not share in the awareness of the eye faculty, then having obscured a portion of the otherwise empty air, it will also obscure the vision of the eye faculty as it returns to the eye faculty. Besides, the person's vision cannot be obscured. since he is seeing the display of flower, and did we not say to begin with that this person was clear-sighted as he looked up in the clear sky? Therefore, you should know that the aggregate of form is an illusion. If it does not come into being from causes and conditions, it does not come into being on its own. I find this style of explanation very confusing. That's why you don't go and read all this. Because I already taught you why form is unreal. Yeah? Why is form unreal? I started off by giving the example of the block cut and the table, isn't it? Because it's condition arising, isn't it? That's why the final conclusion is that. But to go and talk about the I and that one, whether it's connected or what, it make you more confused. You must understand that the pure awareness, that true nature, that can insight into this and awaken to all this, can give you the answer already. Why you want to use word to actually create more confusion? That's why a lot of this commentary, when they try to use logic to explain, they entangle themselves in more words. That's why there are a lot of this commentary, they are not so clear and not so precise. And because of that, it's very difficult to find a really good one. Like I told you all last time. In fact, of all the translated Surangama Sutra, before this Xianhua version, there is only the Charles Luk one that I find quite good. He managed to develop quite a lot of understanding. But still, it has its limitations. Then come this book, which Xianhua, I think they edited it and improved on it. It is already quite good, but still quite a lot need to be tidied up. So when you know that externally is dependent originating condition arising, so it is not a permanent unchanging entity, understand? Then how do you know that this is a block cut or a table? Through what? Visual perception, isn't it? Externally already not so real, understand? Yeah? Dependent originating, condition arising, not a permanent unchanging entity, illusionary. Because of that, it has a characteristics of impermanent. You want things your way, you suffer. And because it's impermanent, he know you, he know me. Then everything might be nature rolling by, not what you think. So once you penetrate this, then how do you know it? It's through the mental perception. It's just an image, even more unreal, isn't it? Then why do you grasp onto it, cling onto it, and give so much meaning? And argue over it, fight over it, try to own it, try to possess it. That is delusionary. Not able to see its unreality. If you develop the direct seeing through this understanding, it's easier to understand. Then, like I said, form, when you contemplate through your life experience, you know this one doesn't listen to you, understand? It goes the way of nature. It's subject to old age, sickness, and death. Where this one is dependent originating, condition arising, go the way of nature, following nature's law. It is not self, understand? Then we use the word non-self because it doesn't mean nothing. It's not nothingness. Not everything is nothing. No, there are things. It is neither the other extreme, which is self. Self means I got full control. Means it can really belong to me, a permanent, unchanging entity. Don't get old, don't get sick, don't die. But the phenomenal world cannot sustain this type of reality. Understand? You look at everything, the plant, everything. They decay, grow old, and finally cease to be. Although they don't have life, like a lot of form. But the Buddha still says, Rupang Anatta, understand? Which means non-self only pertain to entity that have life form, understand or not? That have the egoic entity. But rupang anatta means empty nature. It doesn't mean non-self. Non-self only apply to living beings, entity that have life. So all this understanding you must penetrate. Then when you understand and see them clearly, that's why the Buddha said, mind make ade. When mind arises, all things arise. Means everything arises from the mind, created by the mind. 一切为心造 means 心造成的 created by the mind, mind make. No reality, empty. So see it, then you understand. Then no need to go through all the discussion, all the concept and all those things. Okay? So we go back. Okay, I think we end here for over something already. Okay, we stop here, the aggregate of sanya, sense perception. Okay, we end here. I think after that they will repeat for the 5 aggregates, the other 4 aggregates of mind. But never mind, we stop here. I mark this page. Then we will have our meditation, 45 minutes of awareness-based meditation. So remember the 4 support. Relax body and mind. Don't try to know. Don't try to do. Because the activity of trying to know and doing is always by the thought. So you just silence everything. Relax. Then maintain awareness. Maintaining awareness is the second support. Whatever arises from your 6 sense basis, just aware. Finish. Cease. Aware. Finish. Don't let it continue to create any thinking, proliferation of thought, so that you are not lost in thought, so that you are always maintaining awareness, the silent mind, to be with the moment, just silent, relax. It wanders off, acknowledge it, aware, finish. So maintaining awareness is not to create further thinking. So first support, relax body and mind, then let things be, like you are dead, then silence everything, to stabilize the awareness. Whatever arises, acknowledge it, aware, finish, aware, finish. Then let the mind settle down, the mundane thinking, activity, it will settle down. But you don't feed it with any more deluded thought energy, then it will cease, it will cease, it will cease. All the sankhara like slow down, slow down. You just like witnessing. The pure awareness is like just witnessing through that pure awareness nature. Then the witnessing can allow your mind to settle down, settle down, settle down, until it becomes very quiet. Then continue to be the silent observer of what is the reality, means whatever that manifests from there. Observe, see. Don't be like distracted by it, or drawn away by it, or enticed by it. Just relax, maintain awareness. Then allow it to stabilize. Then settle into the stillness. Once you can realize the tranquil, still mind, that is your true mind, your pure awareness nature. Then observe to see its movement. How from there it creates thought, thinking, through sense door contact. Every moment of sense door contact, through any of your sense bases. What happened? Observe. Then you understand. This is how you see things as they are. Developing the wisdom via the direct seeing, the silent observation of what is, without words, without thought activity, without interference from your memories, your views, your conditioned views, opinion, conditioning, etc. Then for those who have stabilized your inner awareness, you can move on to the 4th support, which is trust. Stay at the heart, silence everything, and trust your inner nature to do the awareness-based movement. That pure awareness nature without thought will detect, will move. Then just stay with the awareness. Whatever phenomena arise, aware, stay with it. You can detect your heartbeat, or any pulse of life, or any vibration. Just silent. Be with it until the vibration and the awareness become one. Then it will settle down, become more and more subtle, until it becomes very quiet. Then it will locate the gateway to your nature. And then just let it move. So continue to be just the witnessing. Okay, now I will set the alarm and let you meditate on your own. You can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Okay, now we'll continue our second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by whatever question you may have. You can ask me whatever question on the Dhamma, the meditation, and how to apply what you have learned to help you live life and understand life. And we can also share what we discussed today on the Surangama Sutra, the pure awareness nature, or visual awareness.
Good afternoon, Brother Teo, Mrs. Teo, and all Kalamita. Brother Teo, actually 我还有一点点。
You can continue to share.
Continue. 等下看。Actually, 这个是我在这个 Saturday， 就是说5月2号的 meditation。Actually 在之前呢，有一个师父跟我 share 的说，有一个学员在meditate 的时候，然后他看到一只蜘蛛，他讲，然后看到一个 spider， 就是说，然后禅师跟他说，你改次再看到的话，你把它画下来，圈下来，就说来 draw 它。然后那个人就照做了，之后他出来的时候，原来他画的那只蜘蛛是在他大腿，没有蜘蛛，只是一个就说so you know，
在他的大腿。
对，就是那个圆圈他所画的，就是在他大腿。Actually，之后这个 sharing 之后我就没有再去想，但是那天下午的 meditation。我就是 aware 到真的有一只蜘蛛了哈，所谓的一只蜘蛛，它很清楚，它在一个红色的墙这样子在爬，OK， 不然就你可以 aware 到它的脚，连它的脚很细腻的你都可以 aware 到，但是当我一 aware 到它我就跳出来了，就是说我已经出来了，就没有再去讲further 的去去想这个问题，所以其实本来就是没有东西的嘛，这个是全部我们的 mind 的
manifestation，
对，给我们去看到是所谓的我们的 mind 可以 manifest 一切为心造，这个 experience， 还有一个 experience 是我在the next day 的，OK when 因为那时候是满愿在读着那个 Path to Nibbana，
对。
So 其实到8点多，8点42分这样其实是我是非常累和非常非常的爱睡，所以我一直看我的手表。看那个 class 几时 end，you know， 所以我就一直看8点42分的时候，然后我就想着我这么爱睡，我想去躺然后我就 躺下去哦，但是他不可以哦，他又不能哦，又就叫我好像来要 sit upright 这样子，所以我就去 sit upright，OK，当我一坐下去又是很 relax，and then after that 我就进去了一个 stillness 哦，很 clear 很 clear 的，你看到你的 awareness 是很 clear，so 它大概 last 了20分钟这样子。Then after that, at the same time, 我可以 aware 到那个 energy 一直 flow into 我的 gateway 这样子。就是这个 part 的 experience。But 在这之前呢，这个 experience 之前呢，其实我是有一个怎样讲，就是说我跟地藏王菩萨说，我要回家了。老师不懂有什么要开示这样子，you know？Then I said, oh, then after that。不懂是不是因为这个的关系就manifest 这个 condition 给我去 experience 这样子，就是这样子。其实整个叫什么？整个 retreat 的过程，我一般都是在很爱睡的状况里面，然后就让我去躺，然后。就好像睡觉，但是我又没有真是睡这样，就是 like it's like feeling of 你在里面 cessation 这样子，就这样子，就是连续了好几天。然后因为我在 main shrine 的chanting 也是很爱睡，真的很爱睡。
到最
到最后一天了，不然就到最后一天，我们要回那天早上哦。我的 chanting 是 full of clarity， 很不爱睡的那种，所以他这个所谓的怎样讲 manifestation 给我 understand 到 you know like 那个 condition 你能不能够去 like
就
act 这样子
interfere 还是 do anything about it just let it unfold。different time when you go through different stages of cultivation, different manifestation will arise, so that you can understand why the nature and the form of mind behave that way. So 这个是很重要的一个understanding. When you always have doubt, then all this cannot happen. Then when it happens, you must act on and flow with it, then develop the understanding out of it, not through like reacting to it or whatever. Then after that, so yeah, finally.
After that， 当我回到家里现在就好像昨天我跟 Brad 就分享这样。我感觉到我只是 stay 在 awareness 里面。
好
就每一次就是来 aware， 好像他要 try to recall 那些，就好像我讲我要想一下我这个答案什么，他想不出来。
不用去想了，
就好像
它是因缘法来的，你没有那个 condition cannot come on. So sometimes when I remember during the early days after I connect, then when I went home, I want to help my father. No, the Dhamma cannot come on. No, because there is no condition for him to receive, because he has that time the fear. My dad got the fear that I will become a monk. So he keep on trying to tell me a lot of negative things to discourage me from continuing to like delve into all this. But then I understood. Then I realized that thing cannot come out. There's no condition to receive. There's no condition to receive. Then it just stay there. Then after that I just smile. I say, it's okay. I say, don't worry. Just let things be. And later on, I think after a while, my dad himself realized, then also got conditioned to resolve all this, because he received a calendar, a very strange calendar that he never received before, with the Buddha image there, radiant, bright, And he kept that calendar for me when every year I return for my New Year, Chinese New Year home visit with my family. And he suddenly said, I got nothing to give to you. He said, I don't think you need anything from me, but this one is from me. The moment I saw that Buddha image calendar, I just rejoiced and smiled. I said, thank you so much. Then after that, he became normal again. He talked to me like normal again. He see that I didn't go that direction to become a monk. So that fear prevent him from behaving normally. And all this has also something to do with his past. But then the condition when it manifests, my nature realized it cannot come out though. Although I wanted to help him and try to explain things to him. That's why when I saw that thing, I realized meant to be. I should just smile and tell him, don't worry, just let things be. So all this, you don't have to worry, because like I said, you will go through this phase. It's not from memory. The understanding is not from memory. Then when you try to recall, it becomes worse one sometimes. Because this one needs causes and condition for it to arise, to manifest. So when causes and condition is there, then you understand if there is causes and condition for Dhamma to flow, then it will flow. And when it flow out, the words come out by themselves. The understanding arises by itself. It is very beautiful, and the flow is very exceptionally wonderful. So all this, you will develop the understanding as you progress along the path of cultivation. Then as a Bodhisattva, you will go through a lot more things. That's why I said, this type of cultivation, when you go into the Bodhisattva way, it is very different from the sainthood way. Then all this understanding normally is not recorded in the books. And if you try at that time to check with people, not many people can explain to you. That's why you will come to the understanding. And for me, my nature, because from the past I have the understanding. That's why when I went through the transformation until I connect in 1989, and from 1989 onward, I think already 30 over years, it's still moving, transforming, changing, and a lot of things that happen to me, I no need to seek answer, because from the past I already knew, and I just let it unfold. That's why I remember I've been advising you all, remember this very important wisdom. As you cultivate, whatever happens, like the Buddha said, whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. Just let things be. It's part of the way. Provided you are sincere, you have the faith, and you persevere, then nothing will go wrong. Because sincerity is very important. Faith is very important. Sincerity means you are not here to seek benefit and all those things. You just want to realize the truth. You just want to complete the cultivation. Then you will not deviate, because without any negativity or sincerity or purpose, you cannot deviate. Then just let it be. Then you will come to understand that these are the transformations that will happen. And when it happens, you don't have any problem at all. You don't have doubt at all. And you will know how to accept the reality, endure, and just let it be. Then after that, as you break free, means it no longer test you and trap you. Otherwise, you arise any doubt, you get trapped. Not in the sense that trap and you cannot become enlightened. No. Trap in the sense that you cannot progress from there. You cannot like continue your cultivation to progress from that stage onward until you develop the understanding. Then it's like a test. You pass that test, you move on to the next Dhamma door and next level of cultivation. Then all this will continue to evolve and transform. Especially later, when you go into your nature to develop the cultivation. During those phases, I remember the last 30 years, a lot of things happen. That's why I used to hint to a lot of Kalimita. When you all progress, when the condition is there, then all this can arise as causes and condition for my nature to continue to share. So yours is one of the things that can happen. So don't worry about when you try to recall the Dhamma, nothing come out. Actually, that is a good sign. If you can still rattle out like through memory all the Dhamma, means you have to check. Well, a lot of these are due to your, not to say you all, due to the cultivator, they commit to memory and so on. Then they try to remember them. Then they keep on recalling, until it becomes like a part of their memory thing. Like it's just like school teacher. They teach until they no need to refer to the textbook already. But all through memory. Most of it is through memory. Because they go through the syllabus, the question, the multiple choice question, and they have done all this, prepare for the student, everything. Then when it comes to like teaching, they find it very easy. But the real test is if that teacher don't get involved in the teaching, don't get involved with all this Dhamma work for a period. And then after that, you will find out whether that one is from memory or the nature. It's from the nature, like the fifth patriarch Huining. Once you have realized that nature, the Dhamma is always there. You no need to remember anything. Off the cuff, you say, straight there and then, they can answer you. Then the understanding is that sometimes the words they may not recall, the Pali term, they may not recall, but the understanding is there, and that is the real understanding. Like what Kongxing Lao Sang say. There are people asking what is wisdom, 什么是智慧? Then Kongxing Lao Sang smile. This wisdom thing is very strange. Sometimes the cultivator, they have realized and awakened, didn't know that that was wisdom. But when they encounter a situation, they know how to resolve it. And that is wisdom, is it? 那就是智慧. That's why finally he developed the understanding to share with people. To realize the enlightenment, you must transcend duality. But he put it in a different way. Very simple, he said. 对也接受，不对也接受，无论如何都要忍辱，忍辱就是波罗蜜。That is really wonderful wisdom. He said, whatever happens, whether it's right or it's wrong, you have to accept. But that is the reality. Right according to who? According to the individual. It's conventional truth, not ultimate truth. Similarly, wrong according to who? So he said, if you can develop the patience to accept everything the way it is, whether it's right or wrong according to people's convention or what, you just accept the reality as the reality. Like the Buddha mentioned, condition like that, things will be like that, it has to be like that. So when you accept and develop the patience to continue to cultivate this so-called patient endurance, that is the real perfection. 忍辱就是波罗蜜，波罗蜜 means perfection. When you can develop the ability to endure, to be patient through understanding, through developing the wisdom to see things as they are, to be with the moment at peace, whatever the situation is, then you have the Dhamma understanding. Otherwise you cannot be at peace. Otherwise you can be affected by situation, agitated by situation, and the mundane thinking, the analysis, the reasoning. Once that one go on, then you cannot resolve the what they call wisdom behind it. That's why J. Krishnamurti add in this very famous sentence that he realized. He said, no amount of analysis can give rise to wisdom. You cannot awaken through analyzing. You know? Who analyze? Who is the analyzer? Is the thought. The instrument is limited. That's why don't analyze. Observe. Then allow the nature to insight into it and develop the silent observation of what is the reality, to understand, to allow the realization to arise. Let the phenomena tell you the story. Don't go and look for the story, because that looking, that searching is always by the thought. That's why they call it the deluded Sakayaditi, mundane mind, or we call it sometimes the craving mind. The one that search doesn't realize that the searcher is the search. You are actually searching for the nature within you. When you don't know that the searcher is the search, how can you find that thing? That thing is within you, not apart from you. Where that pure awareness nature is within you. It's not outside. That's why you cannot search outside. Okay, Alicia?
Yeah, Brother Joe, 感恩。Brother Joe actually，我那个布达达嘛，或者 Brother Joe 分享的佛法，它都是match 啊，我用的词是就是 match。Everything match with Brother Joe
会了解的啊，你自己会了解。
对，
他好像那个脑袋那边啊变了的。因为你 the wisdom once you realize the brain go through a lot of transformation the brain become like non-grasping because of the wisdom. Then when it doesn't grasp now maybe it lead to the condition for me to explain why your memory become like that. Then I realize when it's non-grasping small thing you want to remember gone means gone cannot When I was young I remember I used to have very good memory even whatever my parents told me or I learned in the school, primary school or secondary school or what, I like have elephant memory. I can repeat the word or not. Where I listen attentively, then I can have that memory of it. But then after 1989, when my mundane mind collapsed, then things starts to change. Then I realized a lot of things is actually nothing to do with memory. The wisdom come from that nature, the insight into it and awaken to it. And once that nature has insight into it, awaken to it, the form and mind that is connected to it will understand or not. Then the brain there will go through a type of transformation. That's why it like a layer of consciousness from the forehead down Then suddenly it dropped off towards the end. I think over a period of 9 months for my case. Then when it dropped off, it's like the whole mundane mind missing, like dispersed. Not only dispersed, completely gone. Completely gone. Then like I have no mind. But then I was reflecting and contemplating. Cannot be. If I have no mind, how can I know the world? How can I have perception, all those things? I still got the aggregate. But not the gross, mundane one that I used to have with a lot of images and activity. Now it's completely like that thing gone. There is nothing to obscure that nature. Then I realized the pure awareness nature, that nature which was primordial all the time, that it shines for all. Then for the first time in my life, I live with that. Means that pure awareness nature, I don't need to like practice to be aware, learn to be aware. But that nature has shine for all. And there's no mundane mind to cloud. Then I can see things as they are all the time. They are everywhere, every moment, every instant. That's why I realize truth is everywhere. Why can't you see? For those who see, they always see. We are the universal characteristics. Everything is there. Then I realize the brain, a lot of changes go through. Like that aggregate is no longer like grasping, clinging, holding. It's like nothing can make it curious and make it like want to remember. No more already. Whatever that arises, just arise. Then whatever that has gone, gone. That is the reality. And you just understand that it continue to live from there. Then I realize, if I don't have a mind, I cannot perceive, I cannot know things. Then there must be another mind. Then later on, I continue to cultivate. Well, that supramundane mind, I can tell you, it's very difficult to like develop the cultivation compared to the mundane mind. Relatively a lot easier to develop mindfulness. But the supramundane mind is so fine, like no more mind inside one. No. Nothing for you to be aware. Where is that nature? Then during that time, your spacious awareness, most of the time is there. Where it doesn't operate from a center until you want to know something, you want to live life, or then that thing arises. Specific phenomena. That's why I coined that word. And I use those words to share and to teach. And all this, as you go through, you will slowly develop the understanding. So now you are going into that phase of that initial stages of transformation at the brain level. Just let it happen. Just observe it. Nothing to fear. A lot of people worry, Ayo, like that. If I continue to meditate, I dementia like old man. Don't worry about that. No such thing, understand? No? Don't go and create your own fear and worry and panic. No. That's why I say whatever arises is part and parcel of progress. Then you just have to understand it. That's why this cultivation that very few people can manage to go to that level of cultivation is like traveling into the unknown, understand? You know what is unknown? Like the no man's land, like nobody traveled before. Then whatever you experience, there is no knowledge in the world to guide you. Nobody can explain to you and all those things. That's why you walk into the new territory, into the unknown. And this unknown can also be understood. And they are very beautiful, very pristine. Then as you unfold more and more of this cultivation, marvel, you just smile. That is what the world is. That is what existence is. That is what reality is. Even the form and mind goes the way of nature. It will go through this type of transformation. But when it comes to the nature's transformation, that condition the form and mind to also evolve and transform, then you will realize a new understanding which no history has record, unless you can meet up with cultivator who has gone through that process, or have better progress and understanding than yours. Then they can explain to you and share to you. So all these are very useful and very beneficial sharing. Sadhu to you, Alicia.
Yeah, 感恩 Brother Dio，因为我们有你在盖着我们，所以而且我没有怕，因为我只是
From the way you explain, yes.
Yeah， 是 part of the way。
是咯。
但是当我要讲啊，我要explain certain thing 的时候，它又会出来。
对，因为有那个因缘法了嘛。
对。
所以你觉得很奇怪的，有些人呢没有那个 affinity 啊，你要讲不出的。那些有缘人啊，有那个 affinity 的 ，the moment they meet, they sometimes from nowhere they will end up discussing the Dhamma. It's just like the Bing Lim's wife, huh? Actually, I don't know her. She mentally educated and all saying Mahayana tradition. But somehow, the question will come, evolve. Then I will answer. Then she have a lot of joy and she can understand what I say and all say, even very deep karmic thing and all those things. Even repentance and all those things. They really can develop it. So because of that, you will go through all this. So what Alicia shared today is very good. So you don't worry, don't panic. Whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. So have faith. Maintain your sincerity of purpose and faith. Then persevere. Just do. No need to have any question. Well, initially, question bound to arise. You can reflect. You can contemplate. Then you can ask yourself, how come like that? Then you will end up understanding. That's why I told you my nature when it comes because of my past. I actually don't have problem. But to tell you the truth, for what I have gone through, actually a lot of these things never record before. People never experienced before. Well, I can't find even in the internet or what. Then I realized that all this continue to unfold because I have reached a progress where very few cultivators has the ability to track those unknown. Then to have the stability or understanding to share and teach and make the thing like so simple, so easy to understand, it's not easy. That's why all these are causes and conditions that manifest because of affinity. This sasana, you all as Dhamma friends, Kayamitans, and also past encounter. And the Mandarin Dhamma song that Pamasuri shared with you all, that one is very meaningful because it is like 因缘早安排 that one very beautiful. Otherwise all this cannot happen. Cannot happen. 树连根还有一个means the tree and the root they are one. And all this will explain to you why the Bodhisattvas, when they go through, they understand, they can actually explain all this to you, and their depth of understanding is very, very exceptional. So all this, as we develop the cultivation, all this like cultivation experiences that you acquire, it will manifest. Then you will have to develop the understanding to actually understand it. And as you continue to develop the understanding to understand it, you develop a lot of new understanding on your own. Then you recall what the Buddha mentioned. This Dhamma is Pacetang, can only be realized by the wise, each for themselves. That's why you have to have that type of wisdom and understanding to actually go through. But initially, I don't blame a lot of cultivators, because they don't have such teacher guide to guide them, and they don't have such guidance from the past. Because of that, a lot of them tends to encounter problem and situation as they cultivate. Then they get stagnate. I use the word stagnate, not block. Block is a very good word, a very strong word. But stagnate means like you realize you cannot progress already. Like something is not right already. It's just like when you come out to work. You have reached that understanding of your career, then you continue to stay in that company. Like you stagnate already. You cannot learn anymore already, understand? Because that company, actually, whatever you can learn, you already learn, and you like a top there already. Then there is nobody more senior than you that can teach you and guide you. That's why you either change job or you go and continue your own search. Then when you meet another company or another CEO that has new management understanding and what, then you see the way he do things, the way he grow things, and he develop the understanding and the organization and the dedication and staff control, everything, the management skill. Then you realize he's very good and you can learn. Cultivation quite similar. I don't say same, quite similar. When you really found a guide or a teacher or cultivator who has gone beyond what you have gone, then you can observe and see and you will know and you can learn a lot from them. That is so far the best analogy that I can give it to you. Means related to life, career. And this is what spiritual cultivation is all about. You must make aspiration, adhitan, for causes and conditions, to meet up with the wise, avoid the foolish, so that you can develop the progress. That's why I say, develop strong affinity or the great beings, all the Sammasambuddha and great Mahasattva, Bodhisattvas, the great beings. Because these are the people who can really guide you, protect you. Protect means your forming mind. Then develop the virtue to bless you. So constantly request for their blessing, protection and guidance, and express your gratitude and thanks towards them. Cultivating more and more affinity is very important. That's why that part that I put in the yellow card, you have to look at it, and wherever got condition, pay respect. Then wherever new great beings that you encounter in any civilization, develop the interest, learn to chant, learn to recite their whatever forehao or the teaching, like Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. Once you realize her nature is so unique, then you should develop all the understanding that he has developed through the course of her realization and sharing. And all this like the Tape Zhou, Sing Jing, the Om Mani Padme Hum and all those things, even all the other teaching from the Heart Sutta, Zhen Kong Miao Yu, then how they recite towards the end, Gate Gate, Parasam Gate, then Vohi Swaha and all those things. So all this is how, as we develop the understanding, we cultivate accordingly, then we receive the benefits. Then from there, we evolve more and more understanding. Then when the time comes for us to share and teach, instead of receiving, then we reflect back, contemplate back. Then we know what are the important things to share, so that the cultivator and those who have affinity with us, that seek our guidance, protection, and blessing, can progress faster, easier. But always remember, everyone is different. You don't have to copy or follow. You can just evolve your own understanding out of it. You learn from them. Then whatever that is good, suitable for you, unique to you, you expand on it and develop it. That's what all the great beings do, and Sammasambuddha do. Just towards the end, they have their miscellaneous vow, born of their own specialty, special understanding, and they will become famous for that reason. That's why you look at all the Sammasambuddha, they got different type of name on. Even Hsuan, universal virtue. Her virtue is universal, no? That title actually belongs to her. No? Oh, exceptional. Then like Su, where she specializes in wisdom. Then Tijang Pusa, in the vow that he actually carry. He really have a lot of love. He wants to save the hell beings. He said, if I don't have that vow and go down, who will go down? That's why different great beings, they do different things. And different Sammasambuddha, they evolve and do different things. Like the Eastern Buddha, Yao Sifo. Why? He perfect medicine. And he received the title Medicine Buddha. Then Amitabha, Amitabha, the Pure Land tradition. Actually, his vow, the 48 great vows, are very heavy, very unique. That's why when you read through, as you cultivate, you develop the understanding, you realize every Buddha is exceptional, unique to themselves. Then you can evolve your own. And this Bodhisattva way is very, very extensive, like I say, very unique. And it can continue to arise all the great beings that have very unique and special understanding. So all these are the possibility of cultivation that can arise if you take this beautiful supreme vehicle teaching, the cultivation of the Bodhisattva way. And the 4 basic vows are very important. They are the basic to go this way. Very, very basic. It's like the 5 precepts. Very basic, but very important. These are the 5 precepts that if you violate, it will cause major evil. That's why it's very basic. It is the essence. So the 4 basic vows also same. From there, actually, your 10 perfection come about. Like I explained in the blue book. You can go and read. So all these are causes and conditions that remind us about the beauty and possibility of this supreme vehicle teaching. That the the potential of understanding that can unfold is really, really limitless. And the way is so wonderful, so beautiful. That's why as you develop more and more profound understanding, progress, then the sharing also evolve and become more and more wonderful. Then all this can come out. And this era, because we have the technology, the internet, the AI, everything, if we can share this one will be in the internet for a long period of time. and people can even assess it after all of us, our form and mind, this segment gone. Then maybe in the future when we come back with another segment as our world planetary consciousness evolve, and if we don't get destroyed, you may be the future beneficial. When you come back, you realize, hey, all these are like very familiar. You heard before, you learned before. And then sometimes you Google, how come this name is so familiar? So all this can happen. Okay. Alicia, you continue. Sorry. Let me have 3 minutes toilet break. I didn't go. Just now I lie down. I thought, why so fast? 45 minutes already. The moment the thing ring, and I don't know why the alarm today so loud. Normally not so loud. Oh, no wonder. I put my mic here. Yeah. Below. No wonder so loud. I was thinking, how come? Normally not so loud. Okay. We take 3 minutes toilet break. Okay. So now we continue. Yeah, Alicia, back to you.
Brother Dio, 在大概2个月前，的早上，我在做我的 formal sitting 的时候，然后我 aware 到我前面这个额头这边 forehead 这边，OK， 它好像有一片东西这样慢慢跌下来。
哦。
但是我不是那个是什么东西，所以我就没有做 recording。
不用紧，
好像
你自己会find out的。
对，所以我也没有给他太多想法，因为我自己真的只是我 aware 到有一片东西白色，这样一片这样跌在我的右手边这样子就 disappear 了这样子，所以我没有给他什么样的去很多，因为我说如果我会明白，我就会明白。
对
对，所以我就
对，
所以我就没有，因为之后就说现在我现在的讲，就是我现在觉得很奥妙的是，很多事情他好像不然就讲不会 grasping 了 ，even though
那个很好
因为很奇怪，我只是我说
你来 suddenly become 你不会要去 to be right， 要去真的不会了的很奇怪的。Then you just smile and just let things be. Then without condition, nothing happen. 它慢慢会 evolve 到那一段哦。Then you start to appreciate all the virtuous thought, the kind thought, like gratitude. Then like the respect, appreciative mind state. Like everything to you is full of meaning, full of joy, and you have this gratitude towards nature, great loving kindness towards mankind, humanity, then love towards all beings and all things. Then even very minor thing like negativity to anything, you cannot do already. The selfish thought no more. No? Then you will be like very disciplined or no? Any rubbish that can potentially cause harm to people, you will just go and clear it or no? And remove it or no? And you don't want to burden people, don't want to like continue to pollute the world and cause more problem to the world, and you will start to do things differently. That transformative understanding and wisdom will make you different, and you will go through that phase, which is very good. 好啊，沙丢。
要不然就真的不可思议，真的那种就是说你所 explain 的都讲在我发生在我身上，就是说你别人讲什么
一段的 transformation that like the Buddha say, only the cultivator of the way, the wise one can understand. That's why it's Pacetang. Then as you go through, you realize, automatically you change or no. And change not because you want to change or what, no. It's just like that. Like last time I like to play badminton. Then automatically I give up and I hang up the racket and all things. Then I got no thought that this one is my hobby, I like, and how come now suddenly like that? You ask me to explain, I cannot explain. It really see clearly no meaning. Like playing mahjong or something. I still very good, I try it. I still very good, I still can play, but no interest really. Completely no interest really. And my wife, no. I completely cut off my classmates that used to come and see me and ask me to play with them. Yeah, last time we were very close, and we like to play badminton. We like to play mahjong after our classes or whatever, even while working and all those things. But it just stopped. Then you just know how to do the thing that you're supposed to, maybe through my vow and all those things. Then when the time comes, like I said, this life I never do anything. My nature is just echo and flow. Then you chant calm. Then before that, the guide come, the teacher come, the book come, everything come. Then my life everything already set. Then after that, when I graduate, the thing that I'm supposed to encounter, the book, everything, I will encounter them, then I will go through the phases of learning, understanding. Then the meditation also it take off by itself. Then everything just echo and flow and happen by itself. Then it just unfold. That's why when you see all this, it's not by chance. It's all set, the causes and conditions, based on my nature's wisdom, vow, understanding, adhitthana, and affinity, and also the bodhisattva vow that my nature has undertaken to do all this work. So I will continue to manifest and do all this work, but the way I approach it is different, based on mainly wisdom, understanding, and the perfection of adhitthana. My nature very good at using this perfection, adhitthana. I know how to actually develop it because of the understanding. So all this is unique to the individual. So for your case, my nature rejoice, Alicia, sadhu. So you will also go through and you will also develop better and better understanding. But for you, based on this life, how you come, you have to take care of your karmic past. We are like this life, you have to go through suffering to have condition for the Dhamma encounter, all those things, and you have to pay back for quite long, like you say, 16 years of depression. But not too late, because you are still young, even at this age. But you progress very fast because of the past causes and conditions. The moment you come back into contact with the Dhamma and you go all out to receive this teaching, then somehow you know how to find your way back, where you have a lot of affinity with great beings, especially Tisawang Pusa and all the other Kuan Yin, all those things. Then this life, I think, you also, because of your Mandarin background, you can go and Google through the internet of other great beings like Chunti Pusa, all those things. So all these are your strong point. Then your only karmic past that you have to maybe develop more understanding, to go into the repentance more and more and resolve that amicably, so that when you come, you can adhitthana for maybe causes and conditions for you to connect early, so that all this you don't have to go through again, the payback and all those things, the karmic debt, karmic entanglement and all those things. So as we understand we observe our life. That's why the Buddha say, whatever arise, they are causing condition before. Means you will look at your life, you will understand very likely what your past is. Like Hsuan always share, he said, if you want to know the past, you look at what you are now. If you want to know your future, you look at what you are doing now. He said. And these are very clear. What you do, your karmic will follow. Then, whatever from the past, you are born of your karma. Heir to your karma. Condition is supported by your karma. And you are what you are because of your. So you look back, you will know. And you don't have any karmic debt or very little, you also know. Well, this life when I come, although I was not born into a wealthy family or rich family, no. But my parents were good parents, simple, but because of my parami, I don't have to worry about food, shelter, education, everything. They, despite their situation, they will provide for it and all things. Then when I come, I realized when I was young, I got hardly any karmic debt. Yeah. I only have to go through a little bit of cut here and there, prick by nails and all those things when I was young. Then of course the coconut leaf, you remember the green one? Hit my shoulder. But I don't really suffer. And there was no pain actually, but blood came out. People panic because that is the karmic that I need to repay. So when I was young, I go through all this, and I realized they were very minor. I don't have severe karmic debt to repay. So all this, through observing your life, you can actually develop the understanding. Then you continue to improve. That's why I realized by the time this segment of my nature come, I don't have much coming behind. And if you cultivate and evolve with all this understanding, you can also have that type of life. That's why every segment you can come with this type of beautiful understanding. Then your life can connect very early. It's just like this, like very blessed. Everything go my way. Then at the age of 35, my nature connect, which is very early actually, very early. And most people don't have such condition. They, even during the Buddha's time, a lot, the moment they become Arahant, they have to pay back their debt already, go to death by whatever. And these are quite common because your karmic past, you don't take care, you don't know. That's why you don't take the Bodhisattva way. Most of them, the same way, quite common actually when they become enlightened. There was one, I think, the sickness and disease. And the Buddha knew that he will become Arahant after that. That's why he asked Ananda, they ought to go attend to him. And he himself went and attend to him too. So these are the karmic things behind. Then even the Buddha is not exempted from karmic. The Chincha incident, the food that was offered to him, and all those, they are example of past karmic. That's why don't play a foolish karma. Karma, the law of karma, is very, very powerful, and you cannot really understand until you cultivate. It will come and haunt you, because the moral causation is such. You reap what you sow. Do good because good, do evil because evil. Nobody is exempted from it. It is a nature's law. So you don't take care of karma, don't develop the Noble Eightfold Path qualities, you're bound to entangle. And the seriousness of your karmic entanglement depends on how much delusion you have. If you have a lot of delusion, then I wish you luck. But if you have a lot of understanding, wisdom, virtue, then you know how to mitigate all this and reverse all this and resolve it amicably. Then your life will be beautiful. Okay, Alicia, you have to wrap it up already. Yeah, 3 more minutes.
就感恩感恩 radio 的开示，我想讲的是 ，actually 这个 path 很 beautiful 和 wonderful， 因为真的你不能够去用你的 thought 去想着我要怎么做啊，我要做 noble eightfold path， 它不是这样的。
对，
当你有了那个 understanding， 它自己会 manifest 的。
对，你自己会懂得去修。
那个 negative thought 好像自己不懂几时好像不见了，它就会来这样子。所以其实 Brad 就所教我们这个是学以致用，是非常非常好。就是学了之后放在日常生活，每一天去观看你所谓的 mindset， 然后去从中去慢慢，我也是这样子一点一点去慢慢的去把它一点点的。
That's why I always say life is your greatest teacher. 你可以 from life learn a lot of things. Like just now I explained, you look at your life now, you will know your past. If you want to know your future, you look at how you live your life now, like what Shenhua shared in the early 86, 87 when I listened to his Dhamma talk. And I find it so beautiful. 你要知前世因，今世走看。So all these are very clear. Very good, Alicia, Sadhu.
感恩 Brother Gio， 所以那个 timing 是很重要。我也是理解到 timing 是很重要很重要的。
Yeah.
所以
the window is there.
Yeah.
You don't miss this window. 我以前 hinted to 你们很多次，这个 golden window during the sasana, don't miss it, otherwise you will regret. That's why make use of it. Just sacrifice some, maybe, I won't call it a year or what. If you are serious, just 3 to 6 months, you would have developed all the, what they call, understanding and determined sincerely to plant the seed of Bodhi and go this way. And adithan, whatever you have. You can silence all your merits and wholesomeness is the best. Where this way is very difficult to come by. This understanding are very rare. So when you have the condition, like the Buddha said, 人生难得佛法难闻，人生难得经已得，佛法难闻经已闻。And this type of supreme vehicle teaching you also encounter, and you have the Bodhisattva way already taught to you. That's why make full use of it, determine, and you will not regret. And this is the best gift ever. Okay? So let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we thank Alicia for the good condition and the sharing. Then for this Dhamma sharing to be made possible. Okay, let us now share and transfer this merit to all beings, starting from the Devas. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakantu loka sasana itta vata chamihi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatina hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatina hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatina hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo devo vasatakalena sasa sampati hito cha Fito bhavatu loko cha Raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, good. So you can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guanyin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end sadhu.